Okay, before I start, let me tell you this much. No need to be alarmed. There's nothing chronically wrong. If it ain't that, I already know what the half of y'all is fixing to say. And yes, you are correct, baby. By any chance, especially a woman, do anything like this, yeah. Something most definitely had happened to the point where it's like, and if y'all halfway interested or most definitely interested in knowing what the majority of, or should I say what part of this right here was all about, you have came to the right place, boo. So I hope that your cup is empty, because 9.2 Phlexxi.Avenue has a one tale of a story for you. So I'm going to tell y'all about how your girl had almost went to jail last night. So last night I probably got to my crib around like maybe 9ish or 10 o'clock with my special friend, and me and him was just chilling or whatever, right? And as we were chilling and everything, watching TV, I eventually began to curl up and get just a tad bit sleepy on the couch. So I'm getting all warm on my heating pad and everything, and decided to get comfortable, and I nod off a few times. But somebody just had to poke me and just go like, okay, don't you remember when you said, weren't you supposed to go and meet somebody? And I'm sitting up here like, dang, to a slick extent, it's on the verge of, in my language, it's a bit late and, after hours, and I had begun to get a bit sleepy, and I got real comfortable. So after a good little minute of contemplating whether I was going to go ahead and get up, I went ahead and got up. I grabbed my keys, locked up my door, and then me and my special friend had begun to head out on our night. Mind you, this meeting of going to actually see somebody wasn't even about anything important. I mean, it was just basically going to be some party shenanigans. I'm not going to go into no details. That's because I think that y'all know what, by any chance, that any of my kind, anybody who has been around me, you already know what we fixing to get ready to do, especially if I include you in my car. And as we were getting ready to leave my homegirl's house and got out of the neighborhood good, I was just about to take my sis homegirl home, and I'm turning up some music and everything. I'm sitting up here thinking like, okay, this has been one fine night, but now I'm about to get home, and and I'm about to chill, probably about to lay up in some other stuff. But then somebody just had to say, I effing knew it. And I'm sitting up here going like, what the heck you talking about? Next thing I know, y'all, I see some blue lights behind me. So of course, with the fresh smell of you know what that was in my car, I'm sitting up here like, wow, I already knew that we was got. And now, y'all, this is the part of where, you know how something can be funny at the wrongest time. Okay, so as I'm contemplating where the freak to pull over to, I know that it took me a good little second, not that long, but I just know that I probably took a little second to just go ahead and maneuver over. Y'all, I'm sitting up there literally trying to put some stuff up. I'm talking about going like, somebody spray something, and then my guy friend in the back talking about some, man, y'all doing too much. And I'm sitting up here like, you ain't even doing enough. You ain't even trying to help the situation. I'm sitting up here trying to save the all of us. That's because I know that you too is holding something. So I real life pick up a empty blunt chaser bottle, y'all, and didn't even know it at first. And I'm sitting up here going like, bro, why this freaking thing ain't spraying? And this thing is literally empty. And I'm like, I'm grabbing the wrong junk. And by the time I even get to spraying good, of course, I get that. Dude tells me, yes, ma'am, the reason that we decided to pull you over is because you have a headlight out. And at this rate, I'm going like, wow. And why of all times this mess had to happen right after I decided to get faded with some, people who I love to be around. First of all, I'm good and mad now, so now I'm asked to hand over my license and registration and all that type of other stuff. And so when I begin to do so, tell me why I get to fumbling around in some papers, y'all, and it takes me a good old, probably 2 minutes max. And I'm not even playing. Like, first of all, I know that I was good and nervous. That's because I know what's coming up next after they get to, pulling up the information that they wanted out of the papers that I finally handed over to him. And so when I'm asked to step outside of my car, can I talk to you for a second? I already knew what was coming up next. So I was compliant and I went ahead and, did my little business. But tell me why I'm looking all behind me. I know that I made myself all too gum obvious, making sure that ain't, nothing like, falling out. That's because my crazy tail, I know that I probably could have popped something elsewhere other than where I decided to stick something at. But let's just keep on going with this. Okay, the one thing that I cannot stand is a messy person, and I cannot stand a nosy person. Tell me why. I know that the officers be trying to do their job and all this type of stuff, but I'm just trying to figure out where is it in the description of where you have to ask so many actual personal questions, such as like, how often do you travel back and forth? That's because I hold a Florida license, right? What's the name of the people that you stay with? What's their first and last name? And I'm sitting up here going like, I'm not fixing to tell you all that and what you need to know all of that for, and all who I hang with. I'm talking about dudes sitting up here talking to me like we friends and asking me stuff like you supposed to be getting to know me or something. No, first of all, I already don't even like you. I don't like nobody within one of those suits and with one of those badges. I can't stand neither one of you. I don't even care if I just so happen to know you. I'm gonna look at you a certain way and just be, I can't help the way I have come up. I never have, freaked with 12, and it's still, and I can't say what I want to on here, but I'm gonna keep it clean just for my saved audience. But no, I don't too much freak with them. And then I just find those type of people to be so inhuman. And I mean no harm. I'm not prejudiced, but especially when they are a cracker. And I mean if this offends anybody, you know what to do. But I'm just saying, the people that are this color, that are this color right here, I feel like the majority of them have no sympathy. I mean, it's almost like they're just built to be evil in the way that y'all just come up to people just smiling and stuff like that. And I even had one to start smiling real big, talking about this is how I pay my mortgage. What the freak I need to know all of that for? And why is that even relevant right now? And to say at such a time as this, like, I really find people of the law to be some real boneheads. But after this conversation is over with, this nosy person need to sit down and eat him a gum donut and continue to drink his coffee. But no, you all up in my business, and I don't like that. Don't do that. I mean, where the heck y'all be at when 9 times out of 10 these girls within these different parks around here, even near me, even over where I stay, why y'all can't tend to keep up with the people who get to shooting over there? Tag along with some people that really be doing some real stuff out here. I'm simply trying to take a person home. I'm not even driving no certain way. And of all people, you want to mess with me tonight. I at least even had a fog light on the other side of where my headlight was out at. So I thought that I still would have been secured into knowing that, my car from a distance can still be looking like a car instead of a motorcycle. But no! And then you gonna ask to touch me? I'm sitting up here going like, no, you ain't even no female in this piece and ain't even got no business doing such. No, you may not touch me. And far as I know, you better just only go for my feet or something below or around my ankles or something, or probably just go for my arms. But you ain't finna touch none of my private parts. Just saying. So tell me why next thing I know, I see all of these other cops, I'm talking about just one by one, and I'm sitting up here going like, why the heck does it take all of y'all in this whole freaking entourage? Like, this ain't no dang TV show. And I'm just trying to figure out, no, seriously, why does it even have to take all of y'all with y'all scary behinds? Don't nobody even have no weapons up in here. They asking me, is there anything up in the car that don't need to be there? And I'm sitting up here going like, y'all be so deadgum ready to throw my black tail somewhere behind some bars. It's like y'all just be itching to do so. So tell me why, within the moment of while I'm so-called getting checked, something falls from my shirt, my guy. Something very, very unexpected. And of course, I'm shaking to my knees. That's because the next thing I know, I see an officer pulling out them handcuffs, and I'm going like, hold up, what you doing with those? And then they're going to be shining a light on something that I didn't even see. Mind y'all, I have sort of kind of like, bad astigmatism, especially without prescription. But anyway, I'm looking all at the ground at first. At first, I'm seeing like some little bottle top fall, and I'm looking like, that ain't what that, and then they happen to point to it, and I'm sitting up here going like, That ain't mine. That ain't mine. I'm talking about lying like a mother. Oh, I have never felt like I have been handled so rough. My arm still is hurting right now. This morning, I felt like I wasn't even able to move it, but I have just been stretching it out, been doing all types of other weird stuff. I mean, but anyway, y'all, that right there was so scary to me. And I'm sitting up there looking at my sweetheart, and then I turn around and look at my homie, and I'm sitting up here going like, wow, this is really finna be it, bro. And I'm getting put to the back of the police car, and before they even do that, I'm sitting up here, before they even do that, I'm sitting up here going like, why in the world I feel like y'all trying to put me to the ground? I said, I'm not going down there. And I feel like that's why they had put me in there in the first place, because they were saying that I was sleep, like, resisting or whatever. But I'm sitting up here like, I'm scared. That's because, of course, no mess like this has ever happened to me. And of course, this may be nothing to the sum of you, but if you are like an innocent citizen like myself, and you stay out of sugar honey iced tea, and you literally stay to yourself majority of the time and just hang around a few people, but you're not necessarily antisocial, heck yeah. What is familiar with, probably to the most of y'all who this has ever happened to, this is very foreign for me. Y'all, this junk right here was so freaking ghetto. And I saw my dude on the side talking over on the phone or whatever, and then I just bust out and said, I love you, baby. I love you, baby. And then he was going like, it's gonna be all right. I love you too. Y'all, I know that I was saying some crazy stuff out my mouth that night, but it was all out of fear. And anybody who has acted out of fear before, you know that you would almost about sound like half of a dummy, if not just, I don't know. But anyway, meanwhile, I'm sitting in the back of the police car. I see my daddy pull up, right? So I'm already knowing that him nor my mama probably have anything to say to me right longer now, which is completely understandable, but like all at the same time. And this is not to like bark at anybody, but all I'm gonna say is, and I know that it's a part of me that I have to work on too, but I most definitely believe that certain things shouldn't be said while you're angry. And when all the while that somebody knows that they should have just stayed their tail at home. On that note, I don't need anybody pushing anything bad that I have done repeatedly, especially down my throat. And it's like, okay, I have heard this once. Why you got to turn this into a song? Even if to be what you are saying is true, you just don't do that. All of this is over with, and they released me out of the back seat and get me out them uncomfortable cutting throat behind cuffs. And I get back in my car, y'all, it was silent for a good old second. I know that I didn't I didn't want to hear nothing, say anything. I wasn't even quite in no mood for no noise. Just, y'all already know that I was good and hot. First of all, I felt every bit of uncomfortable, embarrassed, and violated. Then when I get a phone call, and my sister is allowing me to basically overhear a conversation with my parents, just, being in the background, just going, just saying different things. And both of us realized just at the same time, just going like, we really just ain't even trying to hear this right now. And it's not really even on no disrespectful stuff. It's just that, no, seriously, if you, any type of human, who in the world, that's just like if I just knocked, a kid just knocked over a bucket of water, and you know that child did not mean to. In the heat of the moment, it may make you mad. That's because by any chance, you probably got to be the one to clean it up. But like, it was an accident. But what would make that child basically look at you as a whole monster is when you go like, why you did that? Like, just basically barking at the child instead of going like, you know what, it is all right. As a matter of fact, we gonna clean this up together. So as soon as I drop my homie off, it's like, okay, I'm jetting on up out of here. Then my mom and daddy started to blow up my phone. And of course, I'm not gonna lie, I'm already knowing the type of tones that I was gonna get. And quite honestly, y'all, this may sound all type of disrespectful, and to a certain extent, I know that it is. However, I just know I was not really trying to hear anything to be that I was already traumatized at what I thought was fixing to happen to me. Then, not only that, as me and my sweetheart are headed back to my castle of course, we're into it now. That's because I feel like to a certain extent, he was slick, like, co-signing, on to my parents. And it really just added more fuel. And then the next thing I know, I'm crying. I'm doing this basically all through the night. I only basically had got 2 hours of sleep and had decided to wake up. That's because I really couldn't even find myself no sleep, no peaceful sleep whatsoever last night. And then when I woke up this morning, I know that I still wasn't in no good mood. Of course not. This thing ain't, just over with. Somebody still got to go to court. That's because they claim that I had ran a red light, on top of them saying that I had a headlight out. So, y'all... I promise you, I am up under the best stress of my life, crazy stress of my life, and I can't believe I even had said best. That's because stress ain't showing up, ain't nothing good. Y'all scratch that. No, this ain't straight. This ain't cool. Yes, I'm wishing that I would have just stayed my black crazy tail at the crib, stretched and dry mouth, leaving my mouth open, stretched across my couch. Yes, I'm wishing that I would have done things a totally different way. But it's a thing that's called life and trial and error, honey. And I believe in many lessons. Lessons. When I say that this is no mess that will never be happening again, and I will make sure that it will never happen again. So to anybody that invite me to that type of party, I'll either pass it up. I might pass it up. But no, like seriously, y'all. No, I'm gonna pass it up for real, or either just tell you to come to my palace. I mean, I have grown overly paranoid up on this whole thing, and quite honestly, I know that I'm gonna come to a period of where I'm gonna bring all this to a cease eventually. But I'm not gonna even sit up here and fake it behind this screen, y'all. I'm saved, but let's just say I still have some growing to do. So with all of that being said, I hope that y'all enjoyed this story time, and I will be back with another one and keep you guys updated. I hope that you like it. I better hope that y'all like it and subscribe. No, seriously, it only gets better. So I'll see y'all next video. Peace.